G'day guys, welcome to Rumble's Fish Room. So I just realised still have my headphones in. We don't need them where we're going. How is everyone? G'day Matty, g'day Pete, g'day Big Smo. G'day Rosh. Is that Rosh? I think that's how you say that. How is everyone? So today I want to talk about my old fish room. I've kind of dug up a couple of old photos. It actually took me ages to find them for some reason. And they were right in front of me the whole time. But you will see the picture behind me is actually my old fish room. I kind of want to make me a little bit smaller in this scenario so you can see the room a bit better. Let's go that big, I reckon. Also, just quickly while we get started, g'day Craig. Does anybody actually care whether the stream is in 720p? Because I don't know. I see the quality of the video on OBS Studios, and the video quality is insane. And then I look at it on StreamYard, and the video quality is crap. But anyway, I kind of don't know much about streaming services. I should learn a bit more and maybe swap to something better. But that's for me to figure out, isn't it, guys? G'day Fishers Aquatics. G'day Eel, how are you? Oh, so I probably won't talk about the photo behind me for a little bit. We'll let some people get in. I've got my coffee. One thing I noticed, guys, I didn't really think about it until now, but since I stopped drinking, I drink a lot more coffee. By a lot more coffee, pretty much mean one a day. Instead of coming home and having a beer, I have a coffee. Probably not as bad, but still not good. Who knows? Oh, and you know when you're in a group chat and everybody's having a bit of a giggle and you're trying to live stream, but there's some funny conversations going down. So what's been happening with me? Not much really, guys. We've got flower horn babies everywhere. I've actually currently got 3 flower horn pairs together, like literally in the tank without a divider. I think that's the most pairs I've ever had together at once. I don't know. Maybe. I've got a fair few flower horn fry, so it's gonna go from nothing to raining and pouring in a matter of weeks. If anybody hasn't been following along, I actually went like 9 months without getting a successful batch of flower horns. In that 9 months, I think I had like 2 batches, but I lost one because I had no brine shrimp eggs, and then I lost another one because a fish jumped out of a tank and landed in the tank with the babies and ate all the babies. But anyway, so 9 months on, all of a sudden I've got 3 batches of flower horns in 2 weeks. So there's going to be no shortage for the future. G'day John, how are you? G'day Ryan. G'day Blake. I think I might have already said g'day Blake, but him. Oh no, I didn't. So g'day Blake. That's awesome, Rosh, that you got your first batch of flower horn eggs that hatched. Only onward and upward from there. Are you using like crushed flake or something as food, or are you trying the brine shrimp route? Oh, Blake, you lost fry. That's sad. But it's just part of it, isn't it? I think if you can't deal with losing fish, breeding isn't something for you, because you've got to put on a brave face sometimes and just deal with it. I noticed one comment the other day said I seemed more devastated about losing my goldfish than I did about losing my stingray. Let me just clarify that I was definitely way more devoed about losing the stingray. I was upset about the fact that I'd made a video on curing a fish and it didn't work. That was more the upset thing. If that makes sense to you guys, like, I'm critical of my content more than worried about the goldfish itself. I do worry about the goldfish. Oh, Ross, you got microworm and brine shrimp. You set up. G'day, Anonymous. How are you? Did you receive a package? Anonymous, let me know. I did clarify with Green Pet Central. It was a failure on my end. I hadn't sent through your details, so you should be getting a double package. I've got a pretty big package myself. My wife is messaging me. Let me just reply to her. Trying to organize dinner. I've got interesting weekend this weekend. I got my 15-year-old sister staying with me. I don't really feel like an adult enough to look after a child, but I guess she's almost not a child. I say I don't feel adult enough. I'm actually pretty old, aren't I? Hooked on Fish came at the wrong time. Yeah, so how cool are those breeding cages from Blake? Thanks a lot. And also I see Hooked on Fish is no longer banned on Facebook. He started messaging me again. I actually have been trying to get something to show on the channel. I actually literally just went to Bunnings. And tried to pick up this product, and I was going to set it up on the live stream. You know how I wanted to do some live stream what do you call it, live stream activities. How do I rate the dry change that he had? I rate it 10 out of 10, honestly. As far as the convenience thing, definitely 10 out of 10. Can I make it myself? Yes. So for like so convenience 10 out of 10. For like me personally, I would say 7 out of 10 because I can make it myself. Does that make sense? I kind of explained in the video that like it's definitely a convenience thing, but you guys got to buy one and see the bend, like, and then get a heat gun and try to bend a piece of PVC yourself, and you'll appreciate it. It's definitely an art. I'll give him that much. And also I spoke to him today, and I told you guys that he will be running a future. Oh, sorry guys, I need to move the screens around. I told him that he will be running a future attachment for the gravel vac, and he is willing to oblige for that. So that's cool. All right, let's transition here. So guys, this is what I wanted to get. Unfortunately, I didn't get it. So 20 watt floodlight. It's only $35, and you'll look to see that there's two lights on it. We've got them at we were using them on site at work, and basically they're only $35. And if you guys know, my two IBCs don't have lights on them, and those lights would be absolutely perfect for the IBCs, and only $35. There's one problem with the situation. Turns out everybody else in the world, or not the world, in my community, local community, has decided that yes, these are a very cheap option for a light. So 3 Bunnings within 15 kilometers of me, all completely sold out. So if anybody is in Perth and sees them at their Bunnings, buy one for me. No, I was going to say buy one and then I'll get the money to you. But if like 3 people go buy them and then I have to pay 3 people, so that's a flawed idea. But yeah, like and 2 of the Bunnings that were sold out were actually showing stock. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to order it online. I was just trying to rush it today because I wanted to use it in the video, in the live stream. So I spoke to him. You messaged me at like 6 a.m. Did you really? 6 a.m. my time or your time? 6 a.m. your time. It must have been my time. I was probably half asleep when I replied. Well, actually, no, 6. I started at 6 this morning, so I would have been awake and driven by then. Oh, you spoke to Jai at 6 in the morning. Yeah, buy one. Unless you, well, look at it 2 ways. You can go to Bunnings, you can buy the parts. It'll cost you about $35 to $40. Actually, no, just buy one. So you pay an extra $20 to buy a jar changer over building one yourself, and how neat they are. I definitely think it's worth buying it. Have a thought about installing I've got a Sunlight solar panel on the roof in my shed. Oh, while we're doing the screen share thing, I can show you what I've got in my fish room. I can do a video on it, guys. If you, where's the search tab? Search. Solar skylight. I don't know. The only thing with the solar skylight is I don't really think it's worth the money. So if I go like this, transition. All right. So I've actually got one of these in my fish room. I think I got it on special for like $250, so a bit cheaper. But I've got that exact light. Oh no! If I move this over here, I need to be able to read the comments. So yeah, GRB, is this what you're referring to? Or do you mean like a proper skylight? I wouldn't put a normal skylight in my fish room because I can't be bothered with the algae. Even this skylight, the LED one, I still get algae on some of my tanks. But I kind of more just put that in there for the fish to represent the seasonal daytime. So I could put just a little 10-watt LED in there on a timer, and it would be the same brightness, and like 10 watts is bugger all electricity. Not to mention I've got solar on my house. So there's actually no advantage of me having this this solar panel kit because I don't actually save any electricity from it. But the reason I got it was to try simulate the daytime. I was always planning on putting 2 in the fish room. There's only 1 in there, and it's not overly bright, guys. It's definitely not as bright as I was expecting. And what's the next point behind that? Oh yeah, I wanted to get a second one, but you know, money doesn't grow on trees, and I just couldn't justify spending another $270 on a light that I'm not really that fond of. GRB, I wouldn't be able to just put a clear panel on the roof because there's actually a ceiling and insulation and all that jazz. I would actually need to do like a proper skylight kit. So, it would have to be. Where is one? Did I scroll past it? Can't even see it now. Where's the normal skylight? I can't even see a kit. Can you guys see a kit? No. Where's just the normal skylight? Jeez. This is frustrating. I give up, guys. I give up. Let's look at the fish room. So what's to go here? So let's have a look at the picture behind me. Do you want to talk about it? I was kind of thinking, talking about what was in each tank as well, but that could be extremely difficult. I just went to take a sip of the microphone. What's the best fish you can put in a 55? 55 litre or 55 gallon? I just got a message. I need to turn vibrate off because that's really loud on the bench. 55 gallon is that like... I still don't know the gallons to litres conversion. I should really be like 200 litres. So it's pretty much times 4, hey? 200 litre tank. What would be... Trying to think of what would be my choice. Personal choice. It's a good flower horn tank. 1 gallon is 3.6 litres. There we go. Spot on. So I would put... I'm actually... Oh, Sam with the super chat. Thank you very much. I feel like I'm put on the spot here. Let's pick a fish that's in the background. That's difficult because I've got to remember what fish are in the background. 200 litres. A Tanganyikan, maybe the Lalupi, the orange fish. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation. I say that because one of the tanks... So, wrong hand. All right, we're going to have to get real used to this. This rack here, the very top tank, used to have Lalupi in it. Might be getting some shell dwellers, guys, but I need to get some shells before I... It's really hard to do this. So the top tank up there, it was only 4 foot by 3 foot by 10 inches tall. Used to have Lalupi. I don't remember their full name. Neolamprologus Lalupi. Anyway, I didn't... Yeah, good day, Sam. So not only thank you for the super chat, G'day, because I haven't actually said hello. Who else have I missed? GRB, I'm talking to you, but I don't think I said hello. So, hello, GRB. What else? You could do like, it'd be cool. No, I didn't say, Blake, I wasn't saying Lalupi are shell dwellers. I was actually saying, I was replying to Ead's comment talking about shell dwellers, saying that I wouldn't mind some shell dwellers. Sorry if I made it sound like I was saying Lalupi are shell dwellers. So an interesting fact about that 4-foot rack there. I bought 4 groups of fish off somebody in Perth when, like, about 7 years ago, maybe shorter, 5 years ago, and all 4 colonies were hybrids. So I actually had really bad times with that rack, but it wasn't the rack's fault. It just happened to be like I had got 4 new fish tanks, and the person I decided to buy the fish off to stock those 4 tanks was breeding hybrids. So it really upset me. It was quite a lot of money. All right, so let's talk about what the tanks were. So if you look here, oh, this is so hard. Right there next to me, those tanks were 6 foot by 2 foot by 18 inches tall, and they were on a steel rack. The steel rack was 40 by 40, 3 mil wall, I think, and then I think the legs were 70 by 30. I can't remember exactly. But that steel rack was sitting on the ground, and the legs actually rusted out really fast, which kind of put me off steel racks. But the easy way to solve that is to put it on plastic feet. The top tank, for the majority of the time, had bullet point Petrochromis, until they decided to kill each other. What was in the middle tank? I honestly can't remember. Wow. It's been a while. I've got another photo which might actually help me remember. But anyway, we'll look at that in a little bit. I'll keep talking. I keep getting distracted while I'm trying to tell you. And then the bottom tank had the marble Fenestratus, which I talked about the other day, and it also had a stingray pup in it at one stage. What's Blake having for dinner? Bangers and mash. I don't mind a good bangers and mash. Q, the Cribonesis fry are doing well. They're mixed in with a heap of my other African fry, and they seem to be holding their own. I thought the Malawis might hassle them a bit, but they seem to be growing up all right together. Anonymous had bangers and mash too. I haven't even had dinners, guys. It's only 5 o'clock here. Maddie D, shell dwellers are easy to get. They are, especially when Maddie D offers me shell dwellers. Chorizo sausage is rather yum. Jalapeno bread. I've never even heard of that. This is turning into a food chat. All right. Back to the point. Oh yeah, and see, like, the Lucky Bamboo down the bottom there. I used to spend ridiculous amounts of money on Lucky Bamboo and like float them in the filter, and think that 3 strands of bamboo would actually reduce my nitrates. Soon to realize that wouldn't actually make much difference. So that was my experience with the steel rack. I think it's the only one I've ever had, and I built it with my dad. I can weld, if anybody was wondering, and just the problem was it was painted with 2-pack paint, but the water got into the bottom of the legs, and one of them actually like rusted out only in a matter of like 3 years. So then the 2-foot tanks in the back, the 4-foot high rack, like I said before, I think I said the wrong size before. I think they were 3 foot by 2 foot by 10 inches. And yeah, I don't really want to talk about what was in them because they all ended up being crossbreeds, and I culled the lot. And if I talk about what was in there, people might be able to piece together who I got them from. But I just want to say the person that I got them from has rectified their ways since then, and I would go buy fish off him now because I just think he's grown as a breeder since I got those fish off him. But it was still a sad time. All right, let's move across. I might actually open this photo over the other side here. I've just got to find it. It shouldn't actually be that hard to find now that I know where it is. Oh, so the next tanks, like here, they were 2.5 foot by 1.5 foot by 1.5 foot, maybe. Or maybe it was 2.5 foot by 14 inches by 18 inches. Or were they 3 foot? Nah, I think they were 2.5. I don't know, but you can see there's a common theme in my fish rooms, and it is to squeeze as many tanks as possible into a room. Anonymous wasn't happy with his steel rack. Does that mean you're not happy with your welding or just the shape of the rack? Sam, I'll see you later. Must be busy. Can't hang around for long. What was I saying? Oh, and I had horrible lighting on these. Can you guys see like the old school? They were like shop fluoros, like from when we had done a shop fit at work, and I just like used the old fluoros. In under the. Oh, I'm hopeless at this. If you look at that tank there, you can see the light fitting is like this massive thing. Yeah, I'll get to your question in 2 seconds. So I think the top one of those 6 tanks, there was the Mapanga cichlid with the yellow tail and the black barring. And then next to that on the left was neon blue Lunacara. I can't remember the scientific name, but they were probably the nicest Lunacara I've ever had. And I only had a trio, and the male killed the girls, so I sold the male, and then I grew out the fry, but the fry never turned out as good as the original male for some reason. Then underneath, see how the bottom left one has got aqua soil in it? I can't remember what was in there, but it was something low pH. It was the only low pH tank in the room. Can't remember what it was. Next to that on the right was electric blues. What was down the bottom there? This tank. This tank here. It had something quite expensive in it, but I can't remember what it was. I didn't realize how poor my memory is until I... What was it? Oh, that's got Crabro in it, actually. On my other photo, I can see them better. And then in the bottom corner there, I had young 7-bar frontosa. So you'll notice the theme here, guys. All the fish I had were in tanks that were too small, and it definitely bit me in the bum. And it's the main reason you'll notice most of my tanks have such large water volumes these days. It's because I learnt the hard way, and I'm sure a lot of you have had that problem. Sorry, guys, I'm not catching up with the comments, not reading them. Sorry. Oh, Matty D, you're back. The old FIFO work, hey? I bought the rack and sold it. Wasn't happy with looking at the space. Getting a rack the right size for the space you have is the most important thing, I reckon. You guys know I'm all about squeezing the tanks in, and if the rack is too big or small for the space, you feel like there's wasted space. I've actually got the 9-foot tanks in my fish room on the far wall. There's actually like 180 millimeters down the side, which is just a gap. And I had to make them that small because I had to turn the tanks in the room. The OGs know what I'm talking about if you've watched those videos. And when I was putting them in, it was actually eating me inside the fact that I was wasting 180 millimeters of tank space. That's just empty air. And I literally couldn't do anything about it. Like, I had to have that space just to fit the tanks in the room. Oh, GRB, I would love to breed betters, but I don't know why I've just been so unsuccessful every time I've tried. I think maybe because I've always bought the betas from the wholesalers and they're actually way older than you realize. But yeah, I can't blame it on the aggression thing because I breed flower horns. So I don't know. Maybe I should try again. I've got that fish tank on the kitchen bench with no fish still. All right, so let's talk about the 5-foot rack on that side. How do I point to it? There. Yeah, we got there. Why does my finger look so long? I might swap pictures for this. I think I've got a. I think. Oh no, you don't want that one. Sometimes I just forget people are actually listening to me. All right, transition. All right, so here we go, guys. I have to Google what's in the tank. I was gonna say red Bemba Tropheus, but I might be wrong. The Bembas are the orange blotch, aren't they? Oh no, yep. So they were red Bemba Tropheus. I had them up there for quite a long time. I never really successfully grew out fry and sold them when I had this fish room, and I'll explain why after we've looked at all these tanks. So then, I don't know what my dog's crying at. I don't know if you guys can hear him. Just depending on how good my directional microphone is directing its listening skills. Now I can't find the photos. Where'd they go? Anyway, we'll just talk about it. So the middle 5-foot tank there, I actually bred a pair of Jags in there. One stage, I'm trying to see what's in there in this bit. It looks empty. It actually had a pair of flower horns in there also at one stage. They were quite poor quality compared to what I have these days. G'day Garcha, how are you? G'day Pete. I said hello before, but I think you weren't actually here. Oh, GRB, the race to grow out fish before winter. Yeah, I just threw some flower horns in the 8-foot fish tank in my shed, and I'm like, do I really want to heat this tank for winter? It's a tough decision. It's kind of going to depend on whether I sell many flower horns in the next month, sorry. Because it adds those 2 RBCs in the 8-foot add like $400 to my power bill in heating in winter. So that's a couple of flower horns to pay the power bill. So yeah, I don't know why there's nothing in this tank in the photo. Maybe the Epsom salt above the tank is a bit of a story to tell about why there's no fish in there. Maybe I had some sick fish in there because I've never dosed tanks with Epsom salts just because. I've only ever used it to try cure illness, so that might tell a bit of a story of that one. And then underneath, you can't see that well. Oh, I've actually got a photo of underneath. Let's look for it. You guys can sit there in an awkward silence. I found a photo of underneath when I was looking for those photos. I think it might be too hard to find, guys. Hang on. I think I'm in the wrong folder. This folder. Yeah, there it is. It kind of relates to this week's videos, guys, with the jar changer. Oh, these aren't even PVC. What do I have going on here? Alright, transition. I'll show you guys this one. So this is the bottom tanks. They were 2.5 foot by 2 foot by 18 inches high. You can see I used to have the tumblers in the tanks, and this photo was kind of showcasing the fact that I used to use 2 hoses to do water changes. You can see my super duper dodgy versions of the jar changer in this one. Look, it's just 19 millimeter. That's actually just garden hose, and I've put a tap on it and some elbows. Oh, Ehad makes a very solid point. Oh my god. What an idiot. This 5-foot rack is actually the 5-foot tanks that are currently in my fish room that have the flower horns in it and the Africans below. So yes, I still own these tanks. These 4 tanks are the only tanks that came out of my old fish room and into my new one. That's a solid observation, Ehad, that you picked that up. Shows that people are actually listening to my talking. So they're a different color now. You'll see in this photo that they're like dark blue. So I actually took that paint off and repainted them in the lighter blue. And also in this photo, neither of them are cracked. But I can't actually remember if currently one is cracked or both are cracked. But I've had these tanks for a very long time. I've resealed them twice. I resealed them once and I used natural cure silicone, and they actually popped apart so I resealed them again. Man, I would actually love to find that photo. I probably don't own it anymore. So these tanks actually fell apart, like literally fell apart, but they never leaked. The silicon just like pulled away from each other, and the ends were like 8 millimeters away from the front and back, and the silicon had actually stretched. I didn't. Oh yeah, and if you look in the background of the left-hand tank, is that your left? There's actually that green bin filter. Oh, it's not green; it's blue. My bad. And you'll know that I still have that green blue filter in the Viha tank in the fish room currently to this day. I probably still have those sponge filters cruising around too. I don't know about the egg tumblers, but so there was, you can't even see the fish in this photo for some reason. All the tanks just look empty. This one, the right hand tank had albino Dimicromus compressor and standard Dimicoms. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. Dimicromus compressor. There was a mix of standard and albino. Same theme again. The tank is way too small for the fish I had in there. The left-hand tank had something. I'm not sure what. But it was obviously fish of some sort. I don't remember. No, it's lost to me. So, and also one thing about this fish room, guys. At one stage, this whole room was all Tropheus. Just not at the time. I think all the Tropheus were actually were before this, because I didn't have that 4-tier 3x2 rack in there when I had the Tropheus. But yeah, what my biggest regret about this fish room was the tanks were too small for the fish I had. JRB has secondhand tanks 25 years ago. Have you resealed them? That I would be interested to know that. All right, we need to swap photos because there's one wall that's not. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. There was more tanks. And unfortunately, I don't actually have a photo of the final rendition of this room. But I can show you, I can explain to you what I did. Dun, dun, dun. Where did the photos go? I'm not very good at this game, guys. I should have made a folder for the live stream and transferred the photos into it, shouldn't I? I've gone too far. Go back. Go back. I find it interesting going through old photos. Where did they go, Bar? Oh, I saw one. I saw two. There. Oh, wow. I took this photo with a potato, guys. Where is it? Honestly, look at it. Took it with a potato. I've made it smaller so you guys can see it a bit better. All right, so I actually still have those 3 tanks on top. They're out in the backyard. All right, what are you guys talking about? I miss. GRB Aquatics, it's sad to see the Persicklid Society forum is so quiet now. It used to be so good. Oh, Moist, how are ya? How are ya? Just got a little more moist in here. It definitely did. 25 years without resealing. That's interesting. That's crazy. So you kind of get a better view of the 6-foot tanks on the left in this photo on the steel rack. You can see my LED strip lighting. I used to use the cheap eBay stuff and it's absolutely crap. Don't ever buy it, guys. So the top tanks are like, what's that like that standard 30-liter size? Probably about 18 inches by 12 inches by 14 inches or something. With like the curved front. Obviously you guys can't see the curved front because the photo was taken with a potato, but I don't even remember what was in there. I'm pretty sure like all of these tanks here were like crazy overstocked. Like I've brought fry and then haven't had the room to move them to a bigger tank. So yeah, if you're buying fish, put them in the tank that they'll grow up to live in as an adult, because it's just better that way. So now whenever, like as an example, my redfin Cadango, they're only 4 centimeters, but they're in a 5x2 by 18. So not mucking around with the tank size. I think the tank on the left, second down, had some L333s in it at one stage. And then the tank here, where is it? That one there, that had Similis in it, the Tanganyikan shell dwellers. They used to breed like mad for me, but you can't get them out of the shells to sell them. Oh, you just got some Strigatus, Moist. That's cool. Strigatus are a pain in the bum. You've got to strip them, otherwise the males just attack them. Anonymous plays Russian roulettes with second-hand tanks. It led to the start of your divorce. Is that because a tank exploded in the house? I do know someone, a personal friend of mine, had his tank explode in his house recently, and he did say tensions were high in the household, and they actually have to move out of their house for 2 months to let the insurance company take care of it. So one of the reasons for tiling my house is because I have fish tanks. I'm a cabinet maker. I work with wood every day, and I thought about doing wood floors, but the sole reason I didn't is because I knew that I would wreck them with the water. Oh, Iyad lost a redfin yesterday. That's not cool. So yeah, Sam, you're the opposite to me. Everything's out of steel. I think like I'm not biased when it comes to steel or timber racks. There's really no difference. The good thing about steel is you can go further without legs. Like you can go wider. But like, I think just using what is the easiest for you is definitely the good option. G'day, Jai. How are you? Getting Similis out of the shell is a pain. There's an easy way to do it, but I can't remember. So funny story, guys. I bought the Similis off somebody over east, and I got them shipped to Western Australia. This is actually one of my better fish stories. So I paid like X amount. I think it was like ballpark figure like $200 to $300 for a colony of like 20, plus shipping. And they arrived, and I messaged the guy. There was like 20 shells in the packaging, and the quarantine in Perth wasn't going to let them through because of the shells and that. He ended up letting him through to me, so I was stressing about that already. And then I messaged the guy and I was like, "Oh, cheers for the shells. You didn't have to send me the shells as well." And the guy I bought them off says, "Oh yeah, can you please transfer $150 more for the shells?" And I was like, "What do you mean? Like, we never said anything about me buying shells." He goes, "Yeah, I know, but I couldn't get the fish out of the shells, so I had to send them with the shells. So now you pay for the shells." Safe to say I never paid for the shells. Oh, Moist, have you got Red Hunt Fry? Yeah, I'll definitely be keen on some sort of a trade or whatever. We'll work something out. I need to actually clear out some colonies because I want to get some new fish. Anonymous, I don't know what your comment means. G'day. I don't know if I said hello to John at the start of the stream, but he's back. Are you talking? I'm lost. Sorry, Anonymous. I don't know what you mean about winning the lottery, but I'll take it. I like winning the lottery. Moist says, when am I getting Xenos? I can't afford them. Alright, guys. So this is a live stream exclusive. It's always the same people here, and I don't care about sharing my personal life with you guys. So I've got a personal account, which is basically my fish account. So it solves a lot of arguments in the relationship. Because if I want to buy fish, I've just got to use that little bank account that I've got, which is for fish, and it's for I put some of the money towards some bills because obviously the fish use the bills, and it's for motorbike stuff. That bank account currently has like $9 in it, so that's how much fish I'm buying at the moment. It's all right, but because I don't care. I'd rather be good, like well funded in life than sacrificing good life for fish, if that makes sense. Kind of like gambling. You only gamble what you're willing to lose. So yeah, life advice, guys: don't spend your entire savings on fish. It's kind of why I'm always happy to do a fish swap, because I like swapping fish more than changing cash in hands. I still want to do a flower horn giveaway, but I haven't thought about how to set it up. But, Moist, if I did sell a couple of flower horns, I could afford some Xenos. For anybody who's playing at home that doesn't know what me and Moist are talking about, in my video the other day, I said I want to get some Xeno tilapia. Hooked on Fish messaged me today some Xenos, but I literally just can't afford them at the moment. Another friend of mine has some, but I don't know how much he wants for them. He literally said to me, "I'll give them to you cheap, but they are the only ones in Australia." So I don't know how cheap will be. Did I give the bristlenose some wood yet? So that my bristlenose adults tank has wood in it. Or do you mean all of my bristlenose? I was thinking about getting some wood, right? I'd have to research what wood, and cutting like little 3 centimeter cubes and putting like the 3 centimeter cube in every tank, and just once that cube disappears, putting another cube in. Because anybody who doesn't know, pretty much every single one of my tank has bristlenose in it, but they don't survive a good life because there's no wood in the tanks. Because if you didn't know, bristlenose actually need wood in their diets. I'm sure there might be another supplement, but from my limited knowledge, the reason they're dying young for me is because they don't have wood. They only have like the carnivore style pellets. GRB have just moved some white clouds to outdoor tubs. Will it be getting too cold for them? I'm not sure. A white cloud's cold water fish. White clouds is one of those fish I think I presume is reasonably common, but I've never actually seen them in person. I've only ever seen them on YouTube videos. Oh, the ones with the goldfish. No, they don't have wood. They've got a plastic cave now too. If you saw that, Blake's breeding cave is in there. I should actually go check it because I did notice last night the longfin female bristlenose was in the cave. Wow, is there wood wafer pellets? Let's look it up. Bristlenose wood. Catfish wafers with wood. I'm going to share this on the screen because this is too good to be true. Why can't you? Here we go. Here we go. Let me fix this. Look, now I can join you on the screen share. So I might just need to get these. Does this solve all of my problems? The only problem is, half of the tanks, like the cichlids, would just smash the wood pellets when I'm trying to feed them. I would have to figure out a bit of an art. Do we have the ingredients here? Hopefully this doesn't share any of my personal eBay information. Where's the... I don't even know how to use eBay on the computer. Where's the description, guys? Oh, it's down here. Ingredients. It's got herbs, guys. Alder cones. I'm guessing that's the wood. Oh, willow bark. I looked straight past willow bark then. Hang on. Let me move that over there so I can read the comments. So yeah, that might be an interesting idea to get those pellets. Moise says how my Bocco is going. They're going well. They haven't bred much lately, but I do have some about 4 to 5 centimeters that are ready to sell. Yeah, I haven't not put wood in the tanks because of the pH. The reason I haven't is just because of how many tanks I have, and yeah, I just can't be bothered putting a stick in every tank. So a little block would be nice. So yours won't eat pellets. What can I put on the background, guys? I'm just going to go back to this one for now because... What's going on? Is that frozen? Ah. Where did it go? Can you still hear me? It's no fun. See, Anonymous. Hopefully you can hear me. There we go. I'm back. OBS Studio wigs out sometimes, and like I have to deactivate the camera. Why don't you get a pile and put it in front? Yeah, so Rosh, that using a pipe to sink the food is a good idea. The only reason I'd be hesitant to do that is because I've got 40 odd fish tanks, and it would take me 2 hours to feed the room if I did that. So like sometimes what seems like the simplest idea doesn't work in a fish room. Yeah, Moist, I think it is the digestive issues that is the problem. I'm gonna do research into making little blocks for my tanks. Even though I can get like wood food, I think cutting little blocks and putting it in the tanks would make a good video. Oh, GRB, thanks for commenting. Yeah, guys, hit the like on your way out. If you could, that would help the channel. Just overfeed, the cats will clean up the rest. I'm going to do research into that, guys, I reckon. I am GSnap. How are you? I haven't actually said hello to you. I don't even know how to say that. Rashby? Riashby? Ripashi? I'm making a total fool of myself trying to pronounce that, aren't I? Wood for bristlenose. Let's Google it. Wood for bristlenose. Let's see if it says what type of woods. What type of woods do bristlenose catfish need? Should I put it over there so you guys can read with me? Alright, so if you'd like to use PayPal, there's a nice little advertisement there. Oh, come on, now that one's not working as well. Alright, now. Don't use OBS Studios, guys, it sucks. Alright. Bogwood. What's bogwood? Treated grape wood? Wouldn't you want non-treated wood? Malaysian driftwood, we're not cutting that up. Oak logs. I've got American oak at work. Aquatic wood. What do you reckon, guys? Drop a comment. What wood would you feed your? I would feel strange about taking wood from work and putting it in my fish tank. I guess like the wood at work is still trees. This person's saying oak branches. I'm guessing it's an American-based page, so does that mean that American oak would work? I reckon it might be the go. What other woods have I got at work? I've got I think there's some French oak. It's definitely some Jarrah. Can I just pour some Metamucil into the water if they need fiber? Marley root, says Moist. Does anybody know if Daphnia and mosquito larvae live together? I'm guessing they would. I don't see why not. I don't think the Daphnia would eat the mosquito larvae. That would be the only thing you'd be worried about. Mosquito larvae would be defenseless against anything that would eat them. Anything hardwood. So what you're telling me is I can just grab most of the woods at my work and just throw them in the tank. I'm going to try it. Yeah, let's have a look at this one. Do bristlenose need wood? Yeah, look. See, that's what you were saying before, Moist. To aid their digestion. Obviously, you can't. You got to take all the info you see on the internet with a grain of salt. What else can we Google, guys? What can we learn together? Anyway, I think I might wrap it up, guys. What do you reckon? I think, yeah, I wouldn't put cedar in a fish tank. It's so oily. My bed head in my bedroom is cedar. It's actually an old dining room table that I chopped up, turned into a bed head. Alright, so look at that, guys. I transitioned without it freezing. I'm getting used to this. Pre-soak them. Yeah, I can pre-soak the wood. I'll just make a bucket. Oh, yeah, I'll make a bucket of wood and soak it. I think I'll go with American oak. Just because oaks were mentioned. I actually had the driftwood that was in my planted tank. That was just a piece of wood I found on the side of the road many years ago. And I had that in water. I had that in my 8-foot fish tank and then in the 4-foot. So that piece of wood was actually like 6 or 7 years old. It had been in water for 6 or 7 years. It was actually a burnt down tree. And it was like in the side of a creek. Oh, but anyway, guys, I think that is about time to wrap it up. What do you reckon? 1 hour and 9 minutes. Isn't I'm not sure if wood's impossible to buy, but I don't need to buy it. And if you want a piece, just message me on Facebook. If you're in Perth, I'll give you a bit. But obviously, anything I've got is just square cut. It's not fancy like tank wood, if that makes sense. AMG snaps. I was hoping to get a batch of eggs and then do a video on the convicts. But yeah, I'll definitely do a video on them. Yes, they are literally a prize-winning convict. I gained a free sponge filter thanks to the convicts. But anyway, guys, I'm going to say see ya. Hit the like button on the way out if you can, please. And peace out.